Clinton Jaws. Why am I so far away? You know, I was thinking, guys, if you're coming back from the Hat in Saskatchewan around 2 in the morning, put that song on with a hot lady from the bar, because I know that's what you guys are doing. I don't know why I started that way. I'm listening to the song, and for some reason, I'm having fun, but bad things are. You know what I thought of? I'm in Duncan. I'm a constable in Duncan, okay? And I asked my watch commander, Rox. We called her Rox. Her name was Roxine. I said, Roxine, can I have New Year's off? A month before New Year's. I'll get back to you, Clint. I'm like, that's weird. Nobody wants it off on my watch. Why wouldn't you just say, yeah, you can have it off? I'll get back to you. So I asked her about 4 or 5. Why am I yelling? I asked her about 4 or 5 times. Can I have it off? Can I have it off? I'll get back to you. Yeah, you probably can. I'll get back to you. And a week before New Year's, we're sitting in the briefing room in Duncan, in the lunchroom. And Rox is doing her briefing. And she tells the whole watch, okay, yeah, we're good for Christmas. We got lots of bodies. Russ Warren, he's taking New Year's off. And I went, what? Hello? Rox, I've been asking for that off. Why is Russ getting it? I asked for it off over a month ago. I don't know, Clint. He's getting it off, okay? He's taking it off. And I'm just like, you want to know what's wrong with the RCMP? It's like that. I can't believe it. I'm beside myself. I want to lose it. I want to freak. I'm getting mad even thinking about it. After briefing, we go into the GD pit. You know what Russ says to me after? He goes, if I would have known that you wanted it off, I wouldn't have taken it off. You asked half an hour ago, dude. You're allowed to give it back to me. If I would have known, hey, if I would have known, I would have gave it to you. Yeah. I wouldn't have asked for it. If I would have known, I wouldn't have asked for that day. What a weird organization sometimes. When my guys and anybody that worked for me, they would say what I'm about to say is true. Whenever a guy came up to me, or a girl, whenever a member came up to me on my watch, the watch I was running, and said, Clint, can I have this day off? My words were always the same. You tell me. What's the schedule say? If the schedule says we have enough bodies, then of course you can. You don't even have to. You can have any day off you want except for Halloween. I didn't care how. That was my rule, and I stuck by it. I once had members complain that they couldn't get time off. You're full of effing. You're full of it. As I was leaving Port Alberni, I actually had a member. I can't get any time off. Clint won't give me any time off. What are you talking about? You want a day off? I will work minimums every single block if you want a day off. And I know I'm not saying that right. I'll give you an example. And this is way too long now. In Port Alberni, I don't know. I can't remember. The minimums were 4, okay? Me and 3 constables. We had 5 or 6 on the watch. If we had 5 people working on a block, then we can afford to have one person have the day off. So that's what I would say. You tell me, what's the schedule? What's the schedule for next? Do we have 5 people working next block? Yeah? Well, then of course you can have it off. I don't care if you have it off. Why would I care? I would never stop anybody from not taking. Shut up. And I don't know, just wound me right up. I asked for the day off. You give it to me right then and now. We have one extra member. We're not at minimums. You give it to me off. And it wasn't even New Year's, guys. It was New Year's Day. Okay? I shouldn't have started this podcast this way. I don't even know if that story made sense. I just remember sitting in that lunchroom in Duncan, which I'd give anything to be back there, actually. But I just remember sitting there. When she told the watch that Russ was going to have it off, I was like, what? Are you deranged? You're completely mental. Anyways, hey, Rox, you didn't last long as a watch commander, did you? And I actually feel bad even saying that, but I know it's a tough job. But how do you screw that up? That's the easiest decision that you would ever have to make in your entire career. Yes, you can. No, I'll get back to you. What are you talking about? I told you how many members we had that were working. I wake up this morning. I've been messaging a guy on Facebook back and forth about firewood, guys. You know about firewood? This is an interesting story, so don't you dare shut it off. Firewood, a cord of firewood to burn in your fireplace. It's $300 a cord. Okay, I remember when it was $100 a cord, and I was like, oh my God, that's a lot. You would try to get it for $75 from somebody. But now it's $300. Last year, it was $200. And I was like, that's insane that a cord of firewood. Why is firewood so much money this year? Do you guys know? I don't know. I asked my brother, you know what he said? I said, why are they charging $300 for firewood? And he goes, because they can. They're getting away with it. And I'm like, oh, that's so true. Then I started thinking, I think people are preparing for the end of the world. So they're getting firewood. In case all of our electricity shuts off. Or, last January, I would fill up I got oil in this house, okay? It's an oil-heated house. And I would fill up a jerry can of diesel. Hello?
Mom said she'll pick me up, but I'm by myself and she's not answering.
You're with Lucy.
No, Lucy is gone.
How'd she leave?
Mom said she'll pick me up, okay?
Okay, bye.
Can you tell her to pick me up?
Sure. Where are you?
I'm at A&W.
Sorry, guys, the daughter called. I don't even know where I was. Back in January, I'd fill up a jerry can, 20 liters of diesel, and if memory serves me right, it was $30 for a jerry can of diesel. I filled it up the other day. It was $50. I'm like, oh my God. $50. So I go through a jerry can of diesel every 2 days. That's a lot of money. That's not even counting my hydro, what I pay for hydro. That's just the oil. And I know you're probably thinking, why are you going and getting a jerry can of oil? Like, why wouldn't you just call up co-op and say, hey, I need $1,000 of oil. Go fill up my tank. That's not how there's something weird with me. That's not how I operate. When I go to a gas station, I never fill up my tank. Okay. I get like $20. Sometimes I get 10. I never fill it up. I don't know why. That's just the way I am. I mean, I got money, but I pretend that I'm cheap. Anyways, so I'm talking to this guy back and forth for a week about his firewood because his firewood isn't $300. It's $250. And I'm like, okay, but here's the hitch. The catch? Hitch, whatever. I have to go get it. Okay, he's not delivering it. So the $300, people are selling firewood in Port Alberni for $300. It's delivered to your house. He's selling it $250. I have to come and get it. I have to load it into my vehicle. I have to bring it back and unload it. And I thought, you know what? I'm going to save myself $50, even though it's going to cost me a little bit of gas to go out to the lake and get this wood. I'm going to save myself $50, $40. And I'm going to do it myself. Today, I'm going to pick up the firewood. I wake up early. I go to Canadian Tire. I get some straps for the flat deck. And I get, I got something else. What I got? Damn it. Gloves. I got some gloves for my girl hands. And I come back home. I load up the flat deck. I'm ready to go. I put on my boots and my goofy jacket. And I text the guy, what's your address? He tells me his address. I said, okay, I'm on my way. I'm actually sitting in my truck, guys. I'm sitting in the Jeep. It's going. The Jeep is going. Flat deck hooked up. What's your address? Tells me the address. And then I said, okay, do you accept Interact e-transfer? And he goes, yep. It'll be $262.50 cents. What? And he threw in GST. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, oh, okay. Not a big deal, right? Yeah, it is. That's a huge deal. That's a huge deal to me. That's a big deal to me. So I put GST question mark. And he wrote back, yeah, it's a legal business. It's a legal business that I'm running here. And I'm like, you scum sucker. You're a scum sucking prick. That's what you are. That's what I'm thinking. I'm like, okay, obviously I'm going to go get the firewood, right? No. Something says to me, no, you can't. Clint, if you go get this firewood, I'm not paying tax on firewood. Firewood should be free in Port Alberni. There's so much wood. And he throws out that I got to pay an extra $12.50, which means all the work I'm going to do is going to be $38.50 because I worked it out and I think that's what it is. I would rather pay somebody $38.50 to get the firewood delivered to my house so I wouldn't have to do any hard labor. So I go inside and I talk to I can't call her a woman anymore. She said I can't talk about her anymore. So I'm forced to say girlfriend. So I talked to the girlfriend and she kind of agreed with me. Obviously, this guy doesn't have a legal business selling fire. He's not reporting his earnings to Revenue Canada. Give me a break, Matt Fred. You aren't. You just aren't. And so I wrote him back. Why am I telling this story? I just realized it's really stupid. So I wrote him back. I'll pass. And he wasn't happy with that. He said, thanks a lot for wasting my time. And then I said, I went to Canadian Tire and bought some straps. And the other thing that I keep on forgetting, straps and gloves. I'm pretty sure you wasted my time. Because didn't he? You can't up the price. Nobody ever pays GST or PST on firewood, guys. Okay? I just got to tell you what he said. I'm trying to avoid confrontation. Believe it or not, I am. So I'm trying to be nice. I used to always blow up. Like I used to absolutely freak out. So he says, yeah, thanks for wasting my time. And I told him about Canadian Tire, and he went, ha ha, okay, take a hike, kisser. And I'm like, what the hell, kisser? I Googled that. Take a hike, kisser? Like, I didn't even know what the hell he's talking about. So I said, kisser? Question mark? And he said, I don't know why the kisser went there. And he put a emoji like this. Scratch that, he says. Scratch the kisser part. And I said, it's too late. You already texted it. And he wrote back, lol. I don't know if we're getting along or fighting, tell you the truth. And he said, good luck finding it cheaper. Cheers. I don't know. I guess I'm the bad guy. I'm the bad guy because he upped it $10. Not even $10. $12. 50 cents. Kisser. I think kisser meant loser. You can't screw that up, guys, when you're text messaging. Okay? You just can't. That's kind of funny now that I think about it. That's my firewood story. End of the world. Everyone wants firewood, so they're charging $300. And diesels through the roof. Like, how many homes are still run by oil, like this one? And oh my God, that must be pretty hard for people to. Diesel is through the roof right now. I hope you guys bought oil stocks. I hope you got money in oil stocks right now. Now, don't listen to me about stocks. Don't. Because I got money in oil stocks. Okay? I have since 2020. And I'm really grateful for that, but that could backfire big time. They went through the roof again today, though, which is good. Okay, I haven't been around here. I haven't been around, guys, I know. I haven't been doing videos, and there's a reason for that. There's a reason for that. I'll tell you what it is. It's how I look, okay? I'm going to the washroom the other night. Actually, quite a while back. And the girlfriend comes out of the washroom as I'm going into the washroom, and she looked at me and goes, "Oh my God, you look like you're 17 years older." I'm like, "Oh, that's sweet. Thank you. Thank you. You know what? You look really tired. That's how you look, really tired. And just run down." I didn't say that, but I should have. And I thought, this is what happened. Halloween, I dressed up in a little costume, and I dyed my hair. I dyed my hair really, really dark. And she's right. The girlfriend's right. I look like I'm 17 years older. I've been washing my hair twice a day to try to get this permanent darkness out. It won't go away. It's flushed out my face. I look like an old man. And I just couldn't come on the camera. And I said, screw it today. I don't care. And that was a stupid story, but I'm just explaining to you why. God, I need a haircut. I need a re-dye. And it's just I just don't feel pretty right now. And that's why I've been avoiding the video camera. And I know I'm gonna look at this and go, what? I can't even look at you guys. I can't even look at you guys with this hair and this face. I don't like what I've done to my face and my body right now, and I gotta fix it up. And I gotta choose I gotta find a thumbnail, an old thumbnail, moist, an old thumbnail that back in the archives, because I'm not gonna take a picture of what I look like now and put the thumbnail of me of what I look like now up. And you know what? Should we just take some calls? Wow, when you don't do this for a while, hey, do you guys mind if I have a cigar? I quit smoking, by the way. I feel like I should save this story for another day, but I'm not gonna. I'm gonna talk about it now. And this world's getting weird. People are getting weird. I'm weird. Okay, yeah. So why am I complaining about other people? Let me tell you something. It's so weird when you retire. People... When I was in depot, RCMP training, my facilitator said, they said, people are going to look at you differently now that you're a police officer. And that was true. But you know what else happens? When you retire, they look at you differently. Like you're a nothing. You're a nothing little person. Like it's hard to revert back to a nothing. You're a something, and then you become a nothing again. That's hard too. This is what happens. When I was a cop in Port Alberni, I finished my career in Port Alberni. It was a mistake. I would do a lot of bar patrols because that's what they wanted. The detachment wanted you to do bar patrols, foot patrols, I don't know, probation checks, blah, 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 blah. And I wanted our watch to look good. And I kind of liked doing the bar checks, right? I'd run into old buddies that I used to go to school with, and broke up the night. It was interesting. Sometimes I'd run into my brother and his woman, and just friends, sometimes friends, old buddies at the bar. So I'd make an evening of doing these bar checks. I'd hit every bar and walk through. It was a good time. I got credit for it. Our watch got credit for it. And I look like a star. So I got to know the waitresses, the waiters, everybody. And there's this one waitress at this one bar that I got to know because I went to her domestic call one day. Her and her hubby were splitting up, and they got into a fight. So we got to know each other. And she worked at the local bar. And she was looking for a hamster cage. Okay? She wanted to buy her kids her hamster cage. And our hamster just died because we left the hamster back here in July in the living room, and they don't like heat, I guess. And it died. And so I had this huge hamster cage. And she's a single mom. And she's willing to pay money for this hamster cage. I go to where she works, and I said, here's your hamster cage. Free. Have it. Okay. Oh, thank you. That's nice. Yeah, I'm a nice guy. I'm a nice guy. I felt good doing it. One night I'm working, and she calls the police. I attend. And some kid ran out and didn't pay the bill. Didn't pay her bill. And she told me that she has to now pay the bill. It's money out of her pocket. I didn't like that. And so she gave me a small description of him, and there's nothing we can do. We're not going to find the kid, okay? But I do. I do my little investigation, and I go to the next bar, and I find him, and this guy is drunk as F, okay? He's F'd out of his mind. And I find his buddy, and I said, that guy, his buddies, that guy walked out of that pub that you guys were just at and didn't pay his bill. Here's the receipt. And his buddy said, I'm so sorry. Here's the money. I take the money, and I go back up to where the broad is working, okay? And I give her the money. Makes me feel good. Makes her feel good. I kind of went out of my way in a way. I know it's my job, but I kind of went out of the way. No other cop would have got the money for her. I go to a friend of mine's party one night, and there she is, and we talk. We talk for a good, 20 minutes, and we got a good relationship. It's a good relationship. I go to the beer and wine store yesterday, and I'm walking down the aisle, and I turn around, and there she is. But I'm like, that's not her. Is that her? Because she does this. And I'm like, that can't be her. She would never do that. She wouldn't just give me like one of those. Right? It would be a hi. How's it going? How's life? Haven't seen you for a while. And I'm like, I'm still not convinced that it's her. I'm like, there's no way that she would do that. There's absolutely no way that she. How could you do that? Why would you do that? We talk all the time. I did mostly everything for her. That's how I'm thinking. Maybe it's selfish. I don't know. Just what I'm thinking. So now I'm in lineup. Okay, there's 3 people in front of me. She's behind me. And I keep on turning around to see if it's her. And I was going to say, hi, you're. But she's doing this in the lineup. Pretending to be on her phone so she doesn't have to look at me. And I look back at her about 4 times, like a loon. I look like a loon doing it. She knows I'm looking at her, but she won't lift her head from her phone to acknowledge my presence. I'm paying my bill now. I'm still not convinced it's her. And as I'm walking out, the employee says to her, "Oh, hi, Nancy." And I'm like, God, it was her. Brutal. I don't know. Maybe she didn't recognize me with my stupid hair, but no, she knew who I was. She knew who I was. And what is that? What is that? What is wrong with people? Am I that terrible of a person? Like, what did I ever do to you? And why? And people right now, like, why do you even care? I don't know. I don't know why I care. I just do. I just care. I care about it. It bugs me. It eats me. There's so many people in this world. Yeah, I know. Okay, yeah, I might be one of them. But I don't know. What did I ever do to you? You can't acknowledge who I am? We can't have it like a nice, I don't know, 10-second conversation? How's it going? Good. How you doing? Good. Like, girlfriend asked me the other day, why aren't you doing any videos? And I'm like, because you told me I look 70? Like, so weird. You got to do videos, Clint. I think we should take some calls. That's what I wrote that down. It says, I think we should take some calls. Hey, my kid played hockey the other day. I mean, you know how I've been talking about hockey and stuff like that? He lost 20-2. But the teams are fair because they split up the teams. They're fair. The other team won 5-0 against Duncan. My kid lost 20-2. But they're fair. And he got MVP. And he's like, Dad, I got MVP for us because every game they pick somebody, a teammate who's going to be the MVP. You got MVP. I guess that's great. I'm like, yeah, that's great. He lost 20-2, dude. But it's fair. Let's take some calls.
Hey, Mr. Jaws, it's me. I'm calling right back again. So
You hear that, guys? I didn't. I think he called me Mr. Jaws. He's calling right back again. But it's just so... Is it my end? Is it my phone? Because this guy called back again and left another message, and I can't play any of it. There's so much background noise. It's like he's driving in a vehicle or something like that. Is it my end or is it your end? If it's my end, I'll change answering machines. But sorry, I can't play your message. So let's go to the second one.
Hey, Clint. Joe Wanstable here. And I was just...
Joe Wanstable. I think that's what he said. Hi, Joe. Thanks for calling. Constable? Wanstable? Let's try that again.
Hey, Clint. Joe Wanstable here. And I was just in the process with a local RCMP attachment to work as a cell guard in a...
It's a pretty good job. Nights are tough, but it's a pretty good job. You know, some of those cell guards get paid a hell of a lot of money. Like a good wage.
Detachment of the Lower Mainland. I was just wondering if you have any stories.
I wish you would have told me which the detachment in the Lower Mainland, but whatever.
A detachment of the Lower Mainland. I was just wondering if you have any stories involving working with cell guards in your career. Thanks.
Oh, you're welcome. Thanks for the call, dude. Guys, call 604-330-2512. Call. Do I have any... What'd you ask again? Do I have any...
Involving working with... I was just wondering if you have any stories involving working with...
You know, do I have any stories? My mind is so... I should do an episode on cell guards, but do I have any stories? So the ones that pop... I had a cell guard that grabbed my balls one night. And, you know... It was a girl. It was a girl. And I don't know if I should have said that. But that happened. Yeah, I might have to edit that one out. But I think it was purposely too. Yeah, a little bit of a squeeze on it. I had a cell guard that was a girl that was turning into a boy, and she complained about me. She didn't like my attitude. And then her girlfriend hit on me at a bar in Maple Ridge. There's a bar in Maple Ridge. It's like everybody goes to it. And this cell guard shows up with his or her girlfriend. I don't even know how to say it, but and she's like smoking hot. And she started hitting on me. And she's like, hey, maybe you can be like, you can come over and you can do this little, we can do this. And I'm like, no, I can't. I got a woman. And then I looked at them. They're talking about it. And the two start getting into an argument. And they leave. They leave quickly out the door of the nightclub, upset into a huge fight. I know those aren't the stories that you're looking for. And man, the cell guards, their cells is crazy. Cells is insane. So I should have a million stories. I need to sit down and I need to think about my cell stories. Best cell guard I ever had was in Duncan. His name was Murray. And I don't even know how he's doing anymore. He's probably, I don't know. I don't even know if he's around anymore. But it'd be 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in the morning. And I'd be like, Murray, open up the bay door. Let's go have a cigarette. And we'd have a cigarette in the back of Duncan detachment. We did that all shift long. I would bring my dog, Toby, 2 cells on a night shift. And Murray would look after my dog, which was pretty cool. And he would get in there. Like when we were fighting with the rats, he'd be right in there. He'd get a little bit too angry, but it was nice to see. You could always rely on him. Bit of a boring job, right? Those cell guards are they got screens, TV screens in front of them. They always got to be looking and writing in this stupid cell book. And kind of like a sweeper at Canada Safeway. I swept every 20 minutes. But they're constantly writing in this book. I know that's not what you're looking for. I'll do an episode on that.
Hey, Clinton. How you doing, buddy?
Pretty good, buddy. How you doing, buddy? And guys, I know I'm a little off tonight, okay? I feel off. I like this guy.
Hey, Clinton. How you doing, buddy?
And why don't you call 604-330-2512? I'm doing great. How you doing, man?
Watching all your videos. They're really good. I'm a retired BC sheriff.
Retired sheriff?
I sent you an email a while back. I was in BC sheriff. I sent you an email a while back. I was in Port Alberni back in 74, and I joined the RCMP Auxiliary.
This guy was in 1974. He was in Port Alberni. Do you remember High Steppers? Did they have High Steppers back in 1974? They had Tall Timbers. You remember Tall Timbers? I grew up in Tall Timbers. My parents had a lot out at Tall Timbers campground. Sheriff would be a great job, but they pay like half of what the RCMP pay. And that's why a lot of sheriffs try to become a cop.
A while back, I was in Port Alberni back in 74, and I joined the RCMP Auxiliaries, and that's what I ended up in the Sheriff's Department instead of the RCMP. Don't know if it was a good choice. Either would have been good. I probably would have preferred the RCMP.
You would have made more money, but you know what? It probably was a good choice doing what you did.
But I watched a lot of your videos, and I was watching the one on Taser.
Taser.
I remember in Coquitlam, the representative for Taser International came out, and they were doing demonstrations when we were just giving the Taser in our organization. And the guy told me, he said, hey, buy Taser International stock. And like an idiot, I didn't.
Yeah.
Like it was like about $7. Tell you what, I'd have been very rich had I bought
maybe
$4,000 or $5,000 worth of that Taser stock.
I did
25 years ago at $7. Anyway, keep up the good work, my friend. You're welcome to play this. Thanks, buddy.
Dude, thanks for the call. I like hearing that stuff. And you know what? Would you have been rich if you bought Taser Peas? You probably would have sold it. I bought it. And if memory serves me, I know I already told this story, but I'm sitting there in Duncan in the GD pit, and this constable from another watch goes by me, and he's got this big brick on the side of his gun belt. I'm like, because back then we put them on our gun belts instead of strapping them to our legs. I don't know. And I'm like, what's that, dude? And he shows it to me, and it's clicking. Click. He's like, it's a taser. And I'm like, what happens? He tells me the two prongs come out and they taser the guy. And I'm like, that's unbelievable. So I sat down and I Googled. Or maybe I Yahoo'd it. Back then. I don't know. I gave it a Yahoo taser stock symbol, and it came up. I just wanted to know if it was there. And so I bought a bunch of money. I put some thousands of dollars into it, and it split. And then it split again. And then I sold it. Because I needed money. I just started buying a house, and I had nothing. My mortgage payment was $800, and I was making like $1,095 a paycheck with the RCMP. So I sold my taser stock. And let me tell you something. That's one stock. If I can get back into it, I look at it every day. It's like, I don't know. It's at 160. I don't know. I don't know what taser stock's at, but it's up there. It's split a bunch of times. Axon, I got it right here. 182, 52-week low. It went down to $82 not too long ago. That's one stock. If you can get it low, that's one stock you would want during a recession. Taser stock, the weapon is unbelievable. Every cop in the world is going to have a taser. How can you go wrong with putting money into a business like that? You can't. You can't go wrong. And I always think, what's the next thing that's going to hit? What's the next thing that cops are going to have on their belts? What's the next tool that cops are going to have? It's not going to be rap technologies. What is it? So I'm always looking for it. If you guys, hey, leave a comment. If you know what the next big technology that police officers, there's so many police officers in this world. And if you can guess the next best thing, you can become a rich man. Did you know Taser, they were coming out with, they kiboshed this. Taser was coming out with drone tasers. So the drone would be in the air, and they would taser the suspect. Like, beautiful. Suspect wouldn't even know it. Just, and the board said, no, that's inhumane treatment. And they canceled that. How crazy would that be? How crazy. Okay, I think I've had too much wine. I think I'm going to end this here. I'm going to review it, and I'm going to be very upset with myself. And I'm sorry about my hair. I'm sorry what I look like. Guys, if you listen to the end, subscribe to my channel. Okay? There's a big story I want to tell. But I need subscribers. I also have a second channel that's very important to me, that I hit 1,000 subscribers on it. I think it's called Clinton Jaws Short Clips. I don't even know the name of it. I'll leave it in the description. If you can subscribe to that too, and get ready, because I'm going to be doing some live streams. I don't know why, because I'm not even good at this anymore, but I'm going to do another. I'm going to try. What time is it? 6 o'clock. I'm going to try to post this quickly. I don't know if I'm going to be able to tonight, but I want to do another one tomorrow. And maybe I'll look into the camera this time. And I'll get better, okay? Have a good night. Happy November 11th. Remember, I don't know if you say that. I hope you're all remembering. Okay. Bye-bye.